B&B spoilers. Bill plays dirty to ensure Katie's win. The bold and the beautiful spoilers indicate that Katie Logan, Heather Tom, is about to go up against Forrester Creations in a fashion war. Katie knows what she is doing. She even ran Forrester Creations at one time, but can she legitimately beat Ridge Forrester, Torsten K. at his own game? How far will Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, go to give Katie what she wants? Katie Logan's shiny new toy. Bill floored Katie when he gave her a fashion house for their wedding present. Katie has worked for years at Forrester Creations, but secretly always wanted her own fashion house. Bill knows that Katie is annoyed with Ridge right now and is getting closer to leaving Forrester and opening her own fashion house. Luckily for Katie, Eric Forrester, John McCook, has been forced to retire from Forrester Creations because of Ridge believes that is best for him. Eric doesn't agree, but he is allowing Ridge to believe he is right just to get him off his back. However, now Eric may have another option since Katie could be opening a fashion house too. Would Eric switch sides and work for Spencer Publications? Bill Spencer refuses to let Katie Logan fail. Bill isn't about to stand by and watch Katie fail now that he has convinced her to come work at Spencer Publications. Bill could very well start out by picking up Eric and Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, to work for them. Bill could use Deke as an unknown designer working underneath someone else and keep that person's name a secret. Of course, if things still look bad, perhaps Hope Logan, Annika Noel, could always leave Forrester as well, which seems possible considering that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes would, has insisted on Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, being lead designer on her clothing line at Forrester Creations. Will Bill Spencer sabotage Forrester Creations? Bill has been working to make sure that he is a better man because that is what Katie insisted on. Bill may have to mind after what has been done. Will Bill go as far as to go behind Katie's back and steal designs from Forrester? Kate would not be okay with Bill stealing from her sister. However, has Brooke gone far enough to make Katie mad enough to sabotage her? Of course, Bill could just make a major way to sabotage the company by breaking down some of the Forrester equipment, causing a power outage at the design house. Could cloth and other items be delayed by bought-off suppliers? Perhaps a fire may happen to keep Forrester from meeting their deadline for the showdown. Today's very sad news from the bold and the beautiful sends shockwaves through Los Angeles, as one man's obsession with winning, and with the woman he still loves, pushes him over a dangerous moral line. Bill Spencer, the ruthless media tycoon who has built his empire on power plays and backroom deals, is about to prove once again why he's known as Dollar Bill. This time, though, the collateral damage may be far more heartbreaking than anyone expects. Broken heart. At the center of the storm is Katie Logan, strong, talented, and finally carving out a future on her own terms. But behind the scenes, Bill is pulling strings, cutting corners, and playing dirty to ensure one thing: Katie's win, no matter the cost. And the price? It could be devastating. Katie's moment to shine, or so she thinks. For weeks, Katie has been fighting for credibility, independence, and respect in the ruthless world of fashion and business. Whether it's her new venture, a high-stakes pitch, or a power struggle against the Forresters and their allies, Katie believes she's finally standing on her own 2 feet. She's worked tirelessly. She's taken risks. She's dared to believe that this victory, this win, will finally prove she doesn't need Bill Spencer hovering in the background to succeed. What Katie doesn't know is that Bill has already decided the outcome. Sources close to the situation reveal that Bill sees Katie's success as personal. In his mind, if she wins, he wins. If she shines, it validates his belief that the two of them are still bound by fate, history, and unfinished business. And Bill Spencer doesn't lose. Bill's dark obsession resurfaces. Bill's love for Katie has always been complicated, equal parts passion, regret, and control. He's lost her before, sometimes through his own reckless behavior, sometimes through his inability to let go of power. Now, as Katie edges closer to a major breakthrough, Bill's protective instincts morph into something far more dangerous. This isn't support. This isn't encouragement. This is manipulation. Behind closed doors, Bill is reportedly leveraging his vast resources, media influence, financial pressure, and insider information to tilt the playing field in Katie's favor. Deals are being whispered about. Competitors are suddenly facing unexpected setbacks. Opportunities that should be earned are quietly being handed over, all in Katie's name, all without her consent. Playing dirty, what Bill is really doing. According to B&B spoilers, Bill's tactics are shockingly ruthless, even by his standards. Sabotaging rivals by leaking damaging information or pulling funding at critical moments. Manipulating media coverage to paint Katie as the inevitable frontrunner. Pressuring decision-makers behind the scenes with financial threats and incentives. Silencing opposition before they even get a fair chance to compete. It's classic Bill Spencer warfare. Calculated, cold, and devastatingly effective. But this time, it's not about corporate domination. It's about love twisted into control. And the saddest part? Katie would never agree to this. The tragedy of a win built on lies. If Katie wins under these circumstances, the victory will be hollow. That's where the heartbreak truly lies. Katie has spent years trying to step out of Bill's shadow, trying to prove, to herself most of all, that she's more than just Bill Spencer's ex. A win tainted by his interference would crush everything she's worked for. And spoilers hint that the truth won't stay buried for long. When Katie eventually learns that Bill played dirty to secure her success, the betrayal could be unforgivable. This isn't just about business, it's about trust, agency, and respect. Bill thinks he's helping. Katie will see it as sabotage. Fallout. Who gets hurt next? The ripple effects of Bill's actions won't stop with Katie. Brooke Logan may soon sense that something isn't right, especially if familiar Spencer patterns begin to emerge. Brooke knows Bill better than almost anyone, and she knows how destructive his help can be. The Forresters won't take kindly to being outmaneuvered by underhanded tactics. If Ridge or Steffi discovers Bill's interference, this could reignite old feuds and spark an all-out business war. Will Spencer could also be caught in the crossfire. Will has been trying to define his own moral compass, separate from his father's ruthless legacy. Watching Bill cross ethical lines, again, may push Will to confront him in ways we've never seen before. And then there's Bill himself. Bill's tragic blind spot. What makes this storyline so devastating isn't just the manipulation. It's Bill's complete inability to see how wrong he is. In his mind, love justifies everything. He believes Katie deserves to win. The system is rigged anyway. He's only leveling the playing field. But deep down, Bill's real fear is loss. Loss of relevance. Loss of control. When Katie eventually learns that Bill played dirty to secure her success, the betrayal could be unforgivable. This isn't just about business, it's about trust, agency, and respect. Bill thinks he's helping. Katie will see it as sabotage. Fallout. Who gets hurt next? The ripple effects of Bill's actions won't stop with Katie. Brooke Logan may soon sense that something isn't right, especially if familiar Spencer patterns begin to emerge. Brooke knows Bill better than almost anyone, and she knows how destructive his help can be. The Forresters won't take kindly to being outmaneuvered by underhanded tactics. If Ridge or Steffi discovers Bill's interference, this could reignite old feuds and spark an all-out business war. Will Spencer could also be caught in the crossfire. Will has been trying to define his own moral compass, separate from his father's ruthless legacy. Watching Bill cross ethical lines, again, may push Will to confront him in ways we've never seen before. And then there's Bill himself. Bill's tragic blind spot. What makes this storyline so devastating isn't just the manipulation. It's Bill's complete inability to see how wrong he is. In his mind, love justifies everything. He believes Katie deserves to win. The system is rigged anyway. He's only leveling the playing field. But deep down, Bill's real fear is loss. Loss of relevance. Loss of control. Loss of Katie. Rather than risk watching her succeed without him, Bill ensures he remains part of the story, even if that means destroying the ending. Katie's strength will be tested. Spoilers tease that Katie may soon face an impossible choice. If she uncovers the truth before the final outcome, will she walk away from a victory she didn't truly earn? Publicly expose Bill and risk humiliating herself? Or confront him privately, demanding he finally let her go? Any of these options would require immense courage, and Katie has never been stronger than when she stands up for herself. This could be the defining moment of her arc. Choosing integrity over success, independence over comfort, truth over illusion. A very sad turning point for Bill and Katie. Today's very sad news isn't just about dirty tricks and corporate schemes. It's about a love story that keeps collapsing under the weight of control. Bill Spencer may succeed in ensuring Katie's win, but he could lose her forever in the process. And that's the real tragedy. Because if history has taught us anything on the bold and the beautiful, it's this. Victories achieved through manipulation never last, and love poisoned by control always ends in heartbreak. Broken heart. As this explosive storyline unfolds, fans should brace themselves for emotional confrontations, painful revelations, and the possibility that Bill's dirtiest move yet could finally cost him the one woman he claims to love the most. The holiday season in Los Angeles is anything but peaceful this year. While the lights of the Forrester estate twinkle with the promise of Christmas, a dark cloud is gathering over the Logan and Spencer families. Fans of the bold and the beautiful are reeling from today's heartbreaking developments, as Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, proves once again why they call him Dollar Bill. In a move that has left viewers stunned and the Logan sisters divided, Bill is playing a dangerous game of corporate and emotional chess to ensure that Katie Logan, Heather Tom, emerges victorious in the cutthroat world of fashion, even if it means burning every bridge she has left at Forrester Creations. A gift with a price, the Spencer fashion empire. The drama kicked into high gear following the romantic high of Bill and Katie's impromptu wedding. While fans were initially overjoyed to see BNB, Bill and Brooke, finally take a backseat to the much-deserved reunion of Bill and Katie, the honeymoon period was short-lived. Today's episode revealed the true depth of Bill's wedding gift to his new bride, a brand-new, fully funded fashion house under the Spencer Publications umbrella. While it seems like a dream come true for a woman who has spent years in the shadow of Brooke and Steffi, the reality is far more somber. Bill isn't just building Katie a business. He's building a fortress to separate her from her family. Why it's very sad news for fans. The sadness stems from the manipulation underlying Bill's support. He is exploiting Katie's recent professional heartbreak at Forrester Creations. After Ridge and Brooke brought in an outside PR firm, effectively sidelining Katie from the role she has held for years, Katie felt discarded. Bill, sensing her vulnerability, has stepped in as the hero. But as longtime viewers know, Bill's heroism usually comes with a heavy dose of collateral damage. By pushing her to start a rival company, he is effectively forcing Katie to declare war on her own sisters. Bill plays dirty. The devious plan unfolds. In today's pivotal scenes, Bill didn't just offer financial backing. He began actively sabotaging Forrester Creations to ensure Katie's new venture has a head start. Here is how the stallion is playing dirty. The talent raid. Bill has set his sights on the disenfranchised. With Deke Sharp recently fired from Hope for the Future to make room for Thomas Forrester's return, Bill is reportedly moving behind the scenes to scoop up the talent Ridge threw away. The Eric Forrester factor. In a move that felt especially cruel, Bill encouraged Katie to reach out to a retiring, ailing Eric Forrester, John McCook, for guidance. While Katie sees this as seeking a mentor, Bill knows that pulling Eric into their orbit will be the ultimate slap in the face to Ridge. The emotional wedge. Bill is whispering in Katie's ear, reminding her of every time Brooke and Ridge overlooked her. He is fueling a fire of resentment that threatens to permanently extinguish the Logan sisterhood. The Logan sisters at a breaking point. The most heart-wrenching part of today's episode was the confrontation between Katie and Brooke Logan. When Katie revealed the name of her new fashion house, the look on Brooke's face wasn't one of pride, it was one of fear and judgment. Brooke's skepticism, questioning if Katie can build a household name from scratch, has only pushed Katie further into Bill's arms. Seeing the Logan sisters, who have survived so much, standing on opposite sides of a boardroom table is a bitter pill for the audience to swallow. I'm not just a Logan anymore, Brooke. I'm a Spencer. And Bill believes in me in a way you and Ridge never did. Katie's chilling words to her sister. What lies ahead? A dark Christmas in L.A. As we head into the Christmas Eve episode, the contrast between the festive Forrester tradition and the cold corporate maneuvering at Spencer Publications is jarring. What to watch for in the coming days? Ridge's retaliation. Ridge Forrester does not take threats to his legacy lightly. If Bill uses Eric to bolster Katie's line, expect Ridge to go nuclear. The secret agenda, is Bill doing this out of love for Katie? Or is this just his latest way to get back at the dressmaker, Ridge? The fallout for Will. Poor Will Spencer is caught in the middle once again. Seeing his parents reunited should be a joy, but as they prepare for a corporate war, he may find himself a pawn in their game. A bittersweet holiday. While the Forrester family gathers around the piano to sing carols, the underlying tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Bill's decision to play dirty might give Katie the win she craves, but at what cost? Is a fashion empire worth losing her high-stakes world of Los Angeles fashion? News travels faster than a private jet, and today the headlines are dominated by a development that has left fans of the bold and the beautiful reaching for their tissues. What was supposed to be a triumphant new chapter for the youngest Logan sister has taken a somber turn, casting a shadow over the holiday season. Here is the deep dive into the very sad news regarding Katie Logan's shiny new toy, the professional fallout, and the emotional wreckage left in its wake. The gift that changed everything. For years, Katie Logan, played by the incomparable Heather Tom, has been the backbone of Forrester Creations' public relations. She was the one who smoothed over scandals, launched collections, and maintained the Logan Forrester image with grace, even when she was being sidelined by her own family. But everything changed this week when Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, decided to prove his love with more than just words or a ring. Following their recent remarriage, Dollar Bill presented Katie with the ultimate shiny new toy, her very own fashion house. At first, the news was met with gasps of excitement. Bill didn't just buy her a piece of jewelry, he bought her an empire. This was Katie's chance to finally step out from the shadow of her sisters, Brooke and Donna, and her dressmaker, brother-in-law Ridge. However, as the dust settles, the reality of this gift is proving to be more tragic than celebratory. Why the news is very sad for Katie. While a shiny new toy usually implies joy for Katie Logan, this gift has become a source of immense emotional distress. Here is why the current storyline is breaking hearts. 1. The death of the Logan sister bond. The most heartbreaking aspect of this news is the immediate fracture it has caused between Katie and her sister, Brooke. When Katie revealed her plans to lead Spencer Publications' new fashion venture, Brooke's reaction wasn't one of pure sisterly pride. Instead, fans witnessed a strained expression and veiled jealousy. Brooke, who has long seen herself as the matriarch of the Logan legacy at Forrester, now views Katie as a direct rival. The sad truth is that this new business venture might be the final nail in the coffin for the Logan sisters' unity. Watching Katie realize that her own sister doesn't fully believe in her, or worse, resents her, is a very sad development for a character who has already lost so much. 2. A career built on spite. There is a tragic irony in Katie's new role. Bill's motivation for giving her this toy wasn't just empowerment, it was partly to get revenge on Ridge Forrester. Bill believes Ridge and the Forresters wasted Katie's time and never truly valued her. For Katie, realizing that her dream job is being used as a weapon in an ego war between the men in her life is devastating. She wanted a legacy, she's being given a battlefield. 3. The shadow of a health crisis. Longtime viewers know that Katie's heart, literally, is fragile. Between her heart transplant, using her brother Storm's heart, and her kidney failure, stress has always been Katie's greatest enemy. The sad news today is the foreshadowing of another health crisis. The immense pressure of launching a rival fashion house from scratch, combined with the guilt of betraying the family business and the tension with Brooke, has fans terrified. Is this shiny new toy going to be the thing that finally breaks Katie's heart for good? The ripple effect. Who else is hurting? The tragedy of Katie's new venture isn't limited to her. The ripples are being felt across all of Los Angeles. Eric Forrester's heartbreak. In a move that has left fans in tears, the legendary Eric Forrester is facing forced retirement at the hands of Ridge. There is very sad news that Eric feels obsolete in the house he built. While Katie has offered him a place at her new company, the idea of the patriarch leaving his own legacy to join a Spencer toy is a bittersweet tragedy for the Forrester name. Hope Logan's guilt. As Katie prepares to launch, Hope is dealing with the fallout of firing Deke. The fashion world is in chaos, and the shiny new toy at Spencer is only making the professional environment more toxic for everyone involved. What this means for the future. The term shiny new toy is often used for something that loses its luster quickly. The fear among the BNB community is that Katie's fashion house will do exactly that, shining bright for a moment before burning out and leaving her with nothing but a broken family and a weakened heart. As we head into the final days of December 2025, the very sad news isn't that Katie failed. It's that in her moment of greatest success, she has never felt more alone. Potential name for the new House the Backer, the lead designer, rumored, Logan Spencer, Couture Bill, Spencer Eric, Forrester Katie Creation, Spencer Publications Deke, Sharp the new Standard Bill, Spencer Katie Logan Final Thoughts. A bittersweet holiday. We want to see Katie win. We want to see her shiny new toy become the most successful house in the world. But at what cost? If the price of a fashion empire is her relationship with Brooke and her physical health, then the news truly is very sad. What do you think? Is Bill's gift a genuine gesture of love, or is he setting Katie up for a disaster that will tear the Logans apart? In Los Angeles, where glass towers glitter and ambition hums like electricity, shiny new beginnings are usually celebrated. They come with champagne flutes, bold smiles, and promises whispered into microphones. But today, the bold and the beautiful turns that familiar fantasy on its head. Because Katie Logan's shiny new toy, her long-dreamed adventure, her symbol of independence and renewal, has arrived carrying a weight far heavier than success. What should have been triumph now tastes like grief. For Katie, the past few years have been a masterclass in survival. She rebuilt her health, her confidence, and her belief that she could stand on her own without leaning on the men who once defined her story. This new company, sleek, modern, impeccably branded, wasn't just a business. It was a statement, a clean break from heartbreak, a promise to herself that she would never again shrink her dreams to make room for someone else's ego. The launch dazzled. The press called it bold and unexpected. Investors lined up. The fashion world buzzed with curiosity about what Katie Logan would do when she finally stepped out of the shadows. For a fleeting moment, she had everything she'd fought for: control, respect, and the quiet thrill of proving that resilience can look elegant. But in this town, nothing shiny stays untouched for long. Behind the scenes, cracks began to show. The whispers started small, numbers that didn't quite add up, contracts that felt rushed, a sudden urgency around decisions that should have taken weeks. Katie brushed off her unease at first. She'd been underestimated before. She refused to let fear steal her joy now. Yet the feeling lingered, gnawing at her late at night when the office lights were off and the silence grew loud. And then there was Bill Spencer. He appeared at just the right moment, offering congratulations with that familiar mix of charm and certainty. Bill praised her vision, her strength, her courage. He spoke the language of partnership, of shared goals and mutual respect. To anyone watching, it looked supportive, even romantic in its own complicated way. To Katie, it felt comforting. Dangerous, but comforting. Cracks began to show. The whispers started small. Numbers that didn't quite add up, contracts that felt rushed, a sudden urgency around decisions that should have taken weeks. Katie brushed off her unease at first. She'd been underestimated before. She refused to let fear steal her joy now. Yet the feeling lingered, gnawing at her late at night when the office lights were off and the silence grew loud. And then there was Bill Spencer. He appeared at just the right moment, offering congratulations with that familiar mix of charm and certainty. Bill praised her vision, her strength, her courage. He spoke the language of partnership, of shared goals and mutual respect. To anyone watching, it looked supportive, even romantic in its own complicated way. To Katie, it felt comforting. Dangerous, but comforting. That's where the sadness truly begins. Because Katie's shiny new toy didn't just attract attention, it attracted manipulation. Sources close to the situation suggest Bill's involvement wasn't as hands-off as he claimed. Subtle suggestions became firm guidance. Friendly advice turned into strategic pressure. Contracts were simplified. Clauses were standard. Bill framed every move as protection, every shortcut as efficiency. And Katie, still carrying the scars of old battles, trusted him just enough. Too much. The realization hit like a cold wave. Katie discovered that her company, her pride, her proof of independence, was entangled in legal and financial strings she hadn't fully seen. Control she thought she held was shared in ways she never intended. The shiny new toy wasn't entirely hers anymore, and the betrayal cut deeper because it came wrapped in familiarity. Those close to Katie describe her heartbreak not as explosive, but quiet. No screaming matches, no shattered glasses, just a woman sitting alone in her office long after everyone else had gone home, staring at contracts that suddenly read like a confession, the kind of sadness that settles into your bones. What makes this twist especially painful is what the company represented. For Katie, it wasn't about power, it was about peace. She wanted something built by her own hands, on her own terms. She wanted proof that she could create without compromise. Discovering that her dream had been shaped, nudged, and partially claimed by someone else reopened wounds she thought had healed. And the fallout didn't stop there. Professionally, questions began to swirl. Rivals sniffed blood in the water. Supporters grew cautious. A venture once celebrated as a symbol of empowerment now risked becoming another cautionary tale. Katie found herself fighting battles on two fronts, reclaiming control of her company and guarding her heart from a truth she didn't want to face. Emotionally, the weight was even heavier. Bill insists his intentions were good. He argues that without his influence, the company might not have launched as smoothly. He frames his actions as partnership, not possession. But for Katie, intent doesn't erase impact. The sadness comes from realizing that once again, the man she hoped she could trust blurred the line between help and control. Family members have rallied around her, offering support and reminders of her strength. Brooke worries about the toll this will take. Will urges caution, his protective instincts flaring. Even those who once doubted Katie's resolve now see the steel beneath her heartbreak. Yet encouragement doesn't dissolve disappointment overnight. What happens next is uncertain, and that uncertainty is part of the sorrow. Katie must decide whether to fight publicly to untangle herself from Bill's grip or quietly restructure behind closed doors, risking rumors and reputational damage. Either path comes with consequences. Either choice costs her something. And that's the cruel irony. Her shiny new toy, meant to be a reward for endurance, has become another test of it. Fans watching this story unfold can't help but feel the ache. There's something universally painful about realizing a dream isn't as pure as you believed. About discovering that success, when mixed with old patterns, can reopen doors you worked so hard to close. Katie's sadness isn't dramatic. It's devastating because it's real. This isn't just about business. It's about trust. Katie Logan has always been a character who wears her heart openly, even when it leads to pain. Her journey resonates because it mirrors the struggles many face. Choosing independence, risking vulnerability, and learning, sometimes too late, where boundaries must be drawn. Seeing her hurt again, just as she reached a milestone, feels unfair. And that's why it hurts to watch. Yet, even in this very sad chapter, there's a quiet resilience brewing. Katie hasn't given up. She's regrouping. She's asking hard questions. She's reminding herself that reclaiming her power may be messy, but it's necessary. The shine on her new toy may be dulled for now, but the woman holding it is stronger than ever. Still, today isn't about hope. Today is about acknowledging the sadness, about sitting with the truth that victories can come with hidden costs, about recognizing that Katie Logan's latest chapter isn't a fairy tale. It's a warning, a heartbreak, and a test wrapped in glossy packaging. As the story continues, one thing is clear. This moment will change her, whether it hardens her resolve or deepens her caution. The aftermath of this betrayal will ripple through her life, her relationships, and her future choices. The shiny new toy will never look the same again.